Alright, welcome back to another one of the personal replay reviews. This is not a 3-mark edition like I've done sometimes in the past, because I'm bad at the game, but this is more just a review of the new tank, the Canopener. I have played it a bit, and I free XP to it day 1, because I'm a filthy Unicum gold spammer. But you'll see when I respond to the Type 68 in chat. What do I think of it? It's basically just a super conch that has an extra gun, if that makes sense. It's got very, very similar gun stats to it, and very, very similar sort of turret armor. Actually, its turret is arguably better, but its hull is just they're about on par, because while the can opener does have this weak spot, this lower and the lower plate, the upper plate is actually really, really solid, and the lower plate is like really, really small, similar to like a 60 TP. So sometimes you'll be aiming at the lower plate and you'll just hit the upper plate and bounce, which sucks. It sucks. Anyways, gun is 440, 318 pen. Again, very, very similar to the S-Conch. Um, it also has 10 degrees of gun depression. It's very similar to the S-Conch. Something that has probably been said a million times by any other creator that wants to talk about any sort of the double-barrel tanks is the guns open and close depending on which mode you're in. So if you're facing one, it's pretty easy to tell which mode the gun can be in, or the tank is in if it's about to shoot you. But, like, as you can see, sometimes you'll get lucky the upper plate isn't the best with the Type 71, just no you penning it with APCR. And we get a couple shots on his cupola. Again, the gun is very, very, very nice. I really, really like it a lot. It's got 20 more alpha than the Super Conch, a lot less damage, but it has the 840, I want to secure this tank that's on 700 health, I want it dead now, which honestly makes me prefer it a little bit. Now, in regards to going the actual game, Hill is lost on the other side, but I'm not really paying attention to that. I realize we need to kill these guys as fast as I can, and then this tier 9 WZ just appears out of nowhere. Put a shot, rolls for 440. He decides to overpoke extremely hard, and I switch into the double mode, hit him for 832, leaves him on a one-shot. Unfortunately, I didn't high roll, and neither did the other guy, so we couldn't get the kill, but hitting him that hard with the opportunity that I had was really good because it gets him to run away scared, and the poke that he did wasn't the best, so I know that I don't have to worry about him too much. It already hits me, hits my guns, fair enough. I think because he just hit me right there, he's sitting right there, and I can't spot him because he threw a tree and whatnot, but he wasn't there. It looks like he just moved immediately after. Um, and now it's dealing with this Yag and phase. Yag is turning around to deal with the E50 that just jumped over. And because the E50 jumped over, I realized I now have to turn around to kill the Yag in the phase. And we're up to 3.3 now. Take a little bit of damage from the Selma. I shoot the phase rather than the easier pen on the Yag because I realize the phase has to die, and I can't trust my teammates to actually kill the phase. So phase is dead, and the phase was more scarier than the Yag, because it has a turret. Now, it's only the Yag by itself. Try to get the tracking shot, see if he has a repair kit. Burns his repair kit, which is nice. And he is still turning towards the Type 68, which is alright. Type 68 tracks him. I shoot the other track, so I get a little bit extra damage. And he's at 500 health. I realized, yeah, no, we've basically lost this game. I just need to get back to base. So I switch into the double mode and finish him off, which is a really nice sort of thing to have. Immediately switch back because I'm not sure if it's in this tank, but if you're in the double mode, you have slightly worse mobility, so you always want to be outside of the double mode unless you're actively shooting. Type 68 goes to cap. There's a Yag and a Foch back there, and I'm just to myself, I already have 5.3. The game's basically over. It's only been 4 minutes. Is what it is. Can't do anything about it, but it was very nice how this thing was able to pump out damage and has the gold APCR similar to the S-Conch. Overall, what are my thoughts on it? It's going to be a really solid tank. Like, will it be like game-breaking meta and whatnot? No. It doesn't have the pen to keep up with that, and its hull isn't consistent enough. And its hull down isn't like stupid hull down. Like, it still has a cupola on top of it, as you can see up here. That's pretty visible when you're not using your gun depression. And it also has, you know, for the first time in forever, an actually modeled driver's port. TVP running around, managed to kill him. And I realize I want to try to get a little bit more damage, but Selma appears, hit him. I wanted to try to track him so he could drive into me and I could get the, ram. Udez appears, try to get the kill shot on him. M5Y comes, and unfortunately, at the very, very end, aim for his lower plate. I hit his beak, which is like the one spot you can't pen, and that's get tracked by the leopard, but that's the game. Um, Overall, I like this tank. It's a very, very nice tank. It's a very, very nice tank because it's got the DPM. It's got similar DPM to an S. It's got the double barrel, which is great for picking up kills, and its armor model is decent enough, and its speed is pretty similar to an S-Conk. Granted, I have a purple turbo in this, but even just an S-Conk with a base turbo, they're neck and neck essentially. And I also like it because of the 10 degrees of gun depression, and when you're using all of your gun depression, it's very hard to pen. And I know it's a bit of a shorter video, but 5.8K, unfortunately, there was an issue with uploading the replay, so I can't show the end plates, but 5.8K, 5 kills. You win some, you lose some. Some games are just rolls, and it happens. That's just how World of Tanks is sometimes. Um, but I think overall this tank is going to be really, really nice. It's just and I eventually want a three market similar to the S-Conk from before because I like that sort of play. Um, but again, this tank is not going to be like world ending if that makes or world ending if that makes sense. It's going to be good. It's going to be a solid like upper echelon tier tank, but it's not going to be like meta defining. Is it a solid pickup if you're going to grind to it? Yes. Um, and I think it's one of the better tech tree tanks that are actively out there, and I think it'd give it Super Conk a run for its money, although I prefer the Super Conk a little bit more just because, in my limited experience with the can opener, I find the Super Conk gun to be just a bit more consistent, if that makes sense. But again, I like the can opener because if a tank is just driving side onto you, as long as you wait the 2 seconds, you get a free 840 damage rather than 400 with the S-Conk. Um, but yeah, that's gonna do it. I know it's a bit of a shorter replay, but shorter game, shorter replay, simple as that. I find I played it okay. I just couldn't pump out enough damage to make up for the fact that the entire other side collapsed. Maybe I could have been a bit more aggressive with the Yag and phase, but I don't know. It is what it is. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. And again, I know it's a bit of a shorter video, but like, comment, subscribe, and all that. And I will see you guys in the next one.